Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Pranam, pranam to everybody. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam, pranam. The in-depth study of In Quest of God also gives us the blunt statement of Papa. We were not aware of this. He says, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. Experience is gained by diving into the depth of your mind. Mere assertion of the truth is not realization. Realization means direct perception and experience. Now we understand, though we were taking up the reading of In Quest of God, profound ideas through simple anecdotes. We used to enjoy reading, we used to enjoy hearing. Now we realize that even after reading or hearing for a number of years, still, if we check up, any one anecdote had a deep impact in our life. That means whenever we are confronted with such a trying situation, whether we were able to stretch the same theme in our life, It was nice to hear, nice to remember, nice to reproduce, nice to discuss. When it comes to our own experience, the challenges he makes us to pass through, have we been able to bring that theme in our life? You can sit here. This is a question we have to ask for ourselves. If the answer is yes, very good. If the answer is no, then this Papa's word gives us the meaning, because we were only superficially floating. Through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. Experience is gained by diving into the depth of your mind. Mere assertion of the truth is not realization. Realization means direct perception and experience. Because in his case, he was purely depending upon the guidance from within. Papa wants us to rely solely on the inner Guru. Though the outer Guru may awaken us by his touch, thereby turning our mind towards God within us. Papa never insisted nor encouraged the spiritual aspirant to focus only on the personal form of the Guru, though serving a Guru with all love and devotion with the right attitude might help the sadhana to some extent. And he also says in on another occasion, you must have a sadhana which is independent, not dependent upon external condition, form or environment. Whatever Papa wrote or spoke sprang from his own direct inner experience and clarity of understanding, rather than from the study of any scriptures or academic text. Time and again he exhorts the aspirants not to let themselves conditioned by any external factors and urges them to look within and commence an inward journey so as to gain direct spiritual experience. This naturally gives the aspirants the necessary clarity, confidence, and conviction in their spiritual pursuit. So what he writes on this subject, Papa says, what he writes on this subject is based upon his own experience. Saints and Shastras are secondary to him.
No audio, Swamiji, no audio.
No audio. Maybe I think Bahuguna or somebody.
Hari Om,
Audio is there. No sound.
they are able to hear.
Eh?
We don't have mic. That's why little
No, they are
less.
able to hear.
1%.
Yeah, we are able to hear.
Yes, yes.
You were able to hear, what was read out now.
Yes, Swamiji, yes, Swamiji.
It's very, very, very important. Very, very important. It's a blunt statement.
Yes, Swami, you can hear.
And
We
Yes,
can hear.
we can hear.
so that means whenever we hear anything from any Mahatmas, if we store it as a Mahatma's word, it will not help us much, excepting to reproduce. But if it has some dent in our experience, some impact, though not to the way in which those Mahatmas had, in some other form, we have imbibed the theme, and the theme gets registered, and the theme percolates, and the theme has its own relevance or influence in our decisions. So when he read books during 1920-22, he was adopting this method. It was not reading to store the academic knowledge. It was a journey where he was trying to absorb the theme and then tally with his own experience. And that is why whether it is Rameshwaram, whether it is Srirangam or Rameshwaram or Madurai or Tiruvannamalai or Tirupapuriyur, wherever we have come across, You see how Papa was able to accept the situation cheerfully, everything with a positive outlook. How the absence of otherness was writ large in all his talks. This is something on which the in-depth study teaches us. Otherwise, it is a bookish knowledge we are trying to carry, that's all. We may be able to produce. But what is expected of us is something more than that. That is why he says, anything gained from outside cannot be our own. It can at best serve as a second-hand knowledge. So the royal road to true knowledge is our own direct experience and understanding from within, on which we can safely bank upon always, because it is ours. Our daily life is a rare opportunity given to us to test the true knowledge that we have gained by dint of our self-imposed discipline. We have thus to make it our own by testing it and proving it. Until then, it cannot be our own as a part and parcel of us. This is a wonderful message. We are hearing discourses, we are going through various ritualistic form of worship, we are repeating, and then every now and then we ask for ourselves, what happened to me? When I am confronted with so many trying situations or challenging situations, does it help me? When somebody is in trouble and somebody contacts, we may be able to share the knowledge with him. But if we share our experience, that will be far more. So this has not to be lost sight of. In this year, when we say we are on an in-depth study of Inquest of God, we should know that, when Papa was pushed to take up this itinerant or challenging Parivrajaka Yatra, he had already absorbed many of the words of wisdom he was made to go through different texts and Mahatmas. And then God provided him an opportunity of this 8 to 9 months to test and find for himself whether it is okay for him. This is a very, very salient point. In the next chapter, Rameshwaram, everybody will remember about actually Rameshwaram, no, Rameshwaram. Everybody will remember that we should be positive, that is what we say. That 6 miles that comes to us. Now, whether we have been able to, he was able to bring in this in because he was quite established in the fact that whatever happens is happening only by God's will and it is for our ultimate good. Or in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he must have read and learnt by heart. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu maam anusmara yudhyacha. At all times and in all situations, in all places, remember me and fight the battle of life. So that is why even when the sadhu complained, he was having the same balanced mind. Not only that he accepted it cheerfully, but he also said, it is God's grace that we have been allowed to travel, Allowed to travel, because normally pilgrims are to be, what is that word? Pilgrimages should be made on foot. But somehow Ram was kind enough to take us on the train so far. We have only to walk a distance of 6 miles in order to reach Rameshwaram. It is the will of Ram that this distance should be covered by fruit. Be cheerful, brother. We remember this incident. Now Papa says it is not okay if you remember. From morning till evening, he will make us to go through trying situations. to see whether this has any deep impact. Yes, we remember many years back when we conducted this program in Anand near Baroda. It was a 7 days program, and this was taken up on one particular day. Friends from a nearby village called Sitpur, they had come, ladies, and it was all translated into Gujarati, all our sharing. And they were to leave on that day. By evening they left the venue. At about 9 o'clock, Miraben got a call that they got some conveyance to up to some distance. From there, the last bus is there. That will take them to the Sitpur village, which is about 2 miles or 3 miles away. Everybody was waiting. Then suddenly it's not there. So they started walking. Must be 7, 8 o'clock, ladies, children. But as soon as they reached, they said, only 2 miles. That means direct implementation. No? Today we heard only 6 miles. So they, in their case, not even 6 miles, only 2 miles. So they joyously walked. So like that, not merely in wherever we have to walk, in all situations, whether we have been able to bring this dimension. This is the powerful message Papa is giving us, not only through this chapter, and that was why he was able to maintain the same tempo throughout these 37 chapters. And anything else?
Possess money but not be possessed by money. Possess money but not be possessed.
One more aspect of holding on to the vow he has taken. The third vow was, here henceforth he will be purely, the body be maintained and fed upon the food procured by bhiksha or on what was offered as alms. So at that time he was having 9 rupees. 9 rupees. 9 rupees in 1923 is a big amount. Very big amount. But the starting of the chapter says, immediately he handed over these 9 rupees to the sadhu. Sadhu Ram, who was accompanying him, requested him to make it in small coins, and then rupees change it into 1 anna coin and have them all distributed to the poor who were begging at the doors of temples, and this desire he carried out. Now Ramdas threw himself more completely than ever on the support of Ram, with only 2 clothes and a few books, all his possessions in the world. Here we get the clue of what we have been discussing today. Complete reliance on God is possible only when we have the barest minimum possessions. Because otherwise, the possession will keep on giving us a false notion of security. You just imagine, 9 rupees that can take care for many days' requirement, that was all distributed. Absolutely nothing. And a pair of clothes 2 clothes and a few books. That was the only possession. So he was now trying to actualize what he has heard, Nirmamo nirahankaraha. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evaja nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukka sugakshami. Santushta satatam yogi. He is free from all possessions, always contented. We just imagine, we are going on a tour, we are divested possession. What will be our mental state? Even 10 rupees if we have lost, you immediately get into the trip, got back from the vendor. Think, easy to read. But Papa by himself came forward to divest himself of all the possessions, excepting a couple of clothes and a few books. Normally, we also carry, maybe we may not carry much, but at least to assure our mind that we have something. We don't have to bother about. We don't have to trouble others. But here, zero. Tough. It's a very tough, tall talk for us.
Papa is giving tough time for Ram. Testing Ram.
So, as somebody said here, it is the other way. It is not Ram testing Papa. Papa was testing Ram.
Swamiji, one more point is in Rameshwaram, last line of the chapter, that Swami Govindananda called him to Hubli. But as per his first vow, he says the life will be consecrated entirely to meditation and service of God. So this invitation did not sway him. He did not go to that.
Then, but he went last.
He went last.
He went on 37th chapter. He went there.
Yes. Not there.
Not for that particular festive occasion. The most important point is this: assimilation of when God provides or facilitates for us to have all these noble ideals given out in the way in which it can be implemented, whether we are storing in our memory and reproducing it for outside, or whether there is a earnest effort on our part to actualize it in our own life. That is why he said, Ramdas's words cannot be understood through mere superficial churning of thought. Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. Perfected experience. Experience is gained by diving into the depth of your mind. Mere assertion of the truth is not realization. Realization means direct perception and experience. So the Rameshwaram is the first test he gave to Papa, or Papa he gave to Ram, gave to him. No? Either way we can put it, both are same.
ಡಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಂಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಗಂಟೆ ಅಂತ ಓಡಿಬೇಕು ತುಂಬ ನನಗೆ ತಂದಲ್ಲ ಪಾಠಕ್ಕೆ வேண்டிய
எங்கேயாவது சபலம் இருக்கான்னு பார்க்கறதுக்கு. அதான் கஷ்டம்.
Swamiji,
Ah.
one more point is there. Never react immediately because the Sadhuram is reacted, drumming and everything to inspector, railway inspector. Never react immediately.
Without tickets, you cannot travel any further. We have got to get down. At once getting up, Ramdas told the Sadhu Ram that it was Ram's wish that they should alight at this place. Walking out of the station, they came to the high road. Here the Sadhu Ram grumbled over the action of the inspector. To this, Ramdas said, so it is not that he was not reacting. The important point lies here. Every time, suppose we feel a trying situation is an opportunity provided for us to test whether what we have understood can be actualized in our life. So the testing field is not created by us. Testing field is provided by him. It is an outside incident, So how can I test myself? When I go to the examination hall, if I previously know the questions, then it is not a test. So it is given to us at that particular moment. 10 o'clock the exam starts, means 10 o'clock they will open the question. Nowadays we don't know. In our school days it was like that. The question paper box or whatever you call it, package, it has to be kept in front of all students, and then they will cut open the chief examiner in front of us. On those days it had to come from Trivandrum. And even the teachers may not know the questions, and they have to simply distribute it. Then only they will get a copy. Because there is no preparation. Then only the real test can take place. You are not preparing. If you have assimilated what has been taught to you during your class days, during when the teacher talks, if you are attentive, you have absorbed, then you will be able to answer it properly. So test is like that. Test is not created by the field for test is not created. It is outside. So here the ticket examiner asked them to get down. That situation is not created by the aspirant. God created that situation. And see how do you react. You find Papa's reaction as well as the other person's reaction. Our reaction, okay. So in Papa's case, he was able to say, because whatever he has learned, it has become a part of him. And he knew this is an opportunity given to us to implement it. This is the important message. Probably we have not covered it in this language in our journey so far. Anything else in the chapter which stands out?
When we think about others' needs, our comforts or needs will be reduced.
No. We will be free from comfort zones to a very great extent. Very great extent. When the moment we look at it positively, yes, the tangible, palpable gain is that we give not much importance for our comfort zone. Traveling for 6 miles in a train, it is comfortable. Walking is not comfortable. But here we find cheerfully accepting it. How? by looking at the other side. Normally, pilgrims are to be done on foot. Here he has been kind enough for us to travel up to this only 6 miles. So this attitude relieved him from comfort zones. Yeah, this is also a valid point, very valid point. Thinking about the bounteous gifts go so far done will reduce our dependence on the comfort zones. Good, yes, it's also a good point.
Very difficult, Swami, to experience. Very difficult.
Everything is difficult for us because we are all in the comfort zones,
To walk 6 miles.
We are all in the comfort zones. That is why they have now brought out for, say, Panguni Uttaram, people walk from one distance to Palani by foot. For Shabrimala, there also we have now the comfort zones are, previously it was not so, you have to walk. Narmada Parikram, many people do. Our Pune, Varkari, Pandarpur. Even today it is going on, no? Walking. So still, people who would like to experiment, still God has provided various avenues. Girivalam in Tiruvannamalai. To some extent, not that we have left everything and walking Girivalam. Some extent we are testing ourselves, whether without chapel, whether we can walk 12 miles, 12 kilometers.
7 kilometers.
14 kilometers. So now we were passing through Tamil Nadu from Dindigul to Trichy. At that time we saw, there was a footpath, They were clearing the footpath and making it clean. So we asked, what is this? Then Shanmugam said, this is the path they undertake once in a year for some Palani. And then automatically, they don't carry anything with them. But volunteer groups provide them with first-class breakfast, lunch and dinner. That's also a seva. So there are still many places where all these things are being done to test ourselves, whether we read, but at the same time we ensure all our comfort zones, unknowingly, because we are not used to it. We become not comfortable. That is why we are finding it difficult to implement all these things in our life. So we are praying to Him, not only that you have provided this, but you have not given me the push from inside. There are many who are undertaking such yatra. They may not say that it is a testing. The other day one lady came, you remember, in a cycle. From Trivandrum to Ladakh. She has undertaken a trip to go by bike, ordinary bike.
Last year was very thin Marathi lady and she was walking throughout, only walking.
There are still people there. So it is not a story. Those who have got that, inclination to test themselves. So what is possible is even a short distance. Without all these, we cannot try, depending upon our age and health. It is possible. It is not that impossible. It is possible provided He gives us the push from within and the capacity to endure. All our, now we know, we can say bluntly, all our spiritual disciplines come only after ensuring our comfort zones, unknowingly. Everything. We are not leaving to the Almighty or the deity there to take us. We plan everything, ensure everything. So we don't have a taste of this. So Papa makes us to think about all these things when we pass through this Rameshwaram. Even a short distance, without relying upon anything, we take a trip. We can see for ourselves, how do we react? How does the body react? How does the mind react? Suppose somebody says something, how do we take it? And it will have a telling effect. Because there is a direct experience. Our Unni had gone to Koilon. In a bike. Cycle, sorry. It took 6 or 7 days to cover these 500 kilometers. He must be staying in some dharmshala or temple or somewhere. Monday when he comes, we can ask him the details. Before that, a few years back, he had even gone to Narmada, Parikram. And he used to tell us, when somebody saw him walking with the strain, somebody gave him a bike. Sorry, cycle. And before he closed this yatra, he gave the bike, cycle to somebody else. Then he used to narrate to us many such thrilling experience. And how you are taken care of by Adesh, That is his direct experience now, see. It is not a story, it is not a book, it is not a matter for discussion, charcha. It is something from direct experience. When Papa says it is from the perfected experience, you will be able to understand things from the perfected experience. Because now God gave him the necessary push from inside and the and a field, and when he tried that, it becomes a direct experience, not ensuring anything. Where will I stay? Where will I have?
அவள் சாப்பிடவே ஐயப்பனுக்கு நைவேத்தியம் பண்ணினா தான் சாப்பிடுவாங்க. அவங்க 2 நாள் சாப்பிட்டு இப்போ மோகினி அம்மா எப்படி சொல்லி சொன்னாங்க, இந்த பொண்ணு எப்போ சாப்பிடுறது? இப்போ நான் கேட்டேன், இல்லை இருக்க மதப்பொடி கொண்டவங்க அந்த நைவேத்தியம் பண்ணி சாப்பிடுவேன். எனக்கு மனசுக்கு நான் மத்தியானமாக நான் படிக்கிறேன். சரி நீ நைவேத்தியம் பண்ணி ஆசிரமத்தில் பண்ணோம், இல்லை இதுக்கு அப்பப்போ பண்ணி சாப்பிட்டேன். அப்போ மத்தியானம் பண்ணி கொடுத்தேன். அப்போ அவள் சொன்னா, ஆனால் எனக்கு ஐயப்பன் எந்த பொண்ணு வாங்கி உங்களை மாதிரி யாரோ கிடைப்பா, அதை பாயசம் பண்ணி தருவா என்னோட ஐயப்பனுக்கு தான் கேட்டு அவருக்கு அந்த கவலையே இல்லை.
That is their direct experience. We hear others' experience.
In spite of booking on this day, I may book something from here to here to here, onward journey. There could be so many cancellations, so many delays. But that we have to accept. At that time we remember Rameshwaram, everything.
I know. No, we keep on praying to him, By myself, I would like to, but I am unable to. Because as soon as I plan somewhere, first comfort zones are ensured, minimum. We don't say a luxurious one, but basic minimum comforts are ensured. We have not been able to get over that. So we pray to him. You give us some experience by which we have direct, You gave us this idea, your experience. We have been able to appreciate, remember. We would like very much to implement. But you should give us the push from inside. Only by through His grace it can be got, not because of us. A sudden, spontaneous push from inside, without thinking about anything else. But I think this is the lesson we get from this Rameshwaram, that Unless we
Only 6 miles has become a password. To accept.
yeah, it's a password. Unless I crave for a field to see that whatever that has been provided to me in the form of words of wisdom, it doesn't remain as a words of wisdom, but it becomes a part of my experience. Then only I am moving one step ahead. This is very clear from this chapter. Because he says, Papa says, you will be able to understand his words only through our perfected experience, not through the churning process which we do here. He has been blunt in telling. So not that we should be able to walk. He would provide us with umpteen number of situations. And then are we accepting it cheerfully? Are we accepting it cheerfully without grumbling and complaining? If we are not in a position to, we intensify our prayer, that's all. I shouldn't have grumbled. I should have accepted it. Because of my old vasanas, old baggage, I failed. Please enable me to come out of it. This is really, the essence of spirituality. Whatever we have heard, digested, assimilated, absorbed, whether it becomes part of my life. Anything else?
Swamiji, the dates we have written examination, although the question paper is new, but the syllabus is known. So when we prepared well, we wrote the exam well. But in the case of Papa, even the syllabus is not known. Totally new text.
Syllabus is very clear, that we should remember him at all times.
Oh, thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om. Yes, Swamiji.
It is only for, that is the syllabus, that is the curriculum, that is the course. Simple word, remember me and fight the battle. We can close all books, we can stop reading all books if this is writ large,
Sometimes the situation arises such that there is no other recourse other than praying.
Other than?
Praying.
Pray and pray. Because we know it cannot be done by us. So we expect, we are banking upon him who is within us, who has given us this prompting, but who has not given us the needed inner push to some, not that we want something. You enable me to live up to what has been taught by you. Enable me to live up to what has been taught by you.
And first time we understand why Papa thanks when the two boys were telling against him. He thanks Ram. Then we understand.
The other part is also there. Since Papa remembered Ram always, Ram in turn made Papa's heart always having the inner peace. Ram saw that there is no loss of inner peace in Papa. That was the tangible gain indirectly Papa got.
Ultimately it zeroes to Ram's remembrance, The peace, Ram stands for peace. Ram is not different from peace. Peace is God, Papa used to say, So in whatever way we approach, so ultimately zeros, all these things we can stop. We only want remembrance, 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 remembrance. Throughout the inquest of God, this is the one theme, the thread. That is the thread with which these 37 chapters are woven. Remembrance, 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 remembrance. He was blessed. So we have not prayed like him, number one. We now start realizing it, why he was not responding. Why he is not giving us the feeling that he is responding. Though he is there in everything, he has not given us the feeling. He makes us feel we are inadequate, insufficient to handle matters. He has not given a go. I am there, jump. That language we have not heard from him. So we have to tell him, please, just like on 27th December 1922, early at 5 o'clock in the morning, you said go, with nothing to fall back upon. No idea, no planning, no assistant, no destination.
No Google Map.
No Google Map, no guidance from any quarter. He gets down at E Road, looks what to do. Somebody comes and asks him, what is your plan? You know the plan. Then he said, I am going to Trichy. So he was taken to Trichy. From there he walked to Srirangam. When he reached Kaveri, prompting come, go, change your dress, accept a new name. Every time the remembrance was taking him from moment to moment. So that is the
Prompting he had.
yeah.
Every minute he had inner prompting. Inner prompting. He had moment by moment.
We call it as inner.
He doesn't call it as inner prompting.
He doesn't say, because he was having constant dialogue, He was able to understand the roadblock at the time of his starting. Me and mine. Now we can understand how he brought this into the second chapter. He prays again, take me under thy complete guidance and free me from the me and mine, I. Second chapter. Then only the renunciation comes. The adoption of sannyas comes. We find it chronologically also now. So next is Madurai. Is there anything particular in Madurai?
Kindness was great. Very touching up. Ganesh.
In between.
அந்த அவர் படும்போது
குறவா திரும்ப எல்லாரையும் அப்படி ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா
The glow on his face and the body language and the way in which he was accepting all situations was instrumental in putting him on a higher pedestal, no? As far as Govindananda was concerned. He started observing and find. So the moment Govindananda placed him on a high pedestal, he couldn't bear an ordinary person's feet touching him. He said, I cannot bear. No? He is kicking you, I cannot bear the sight, I consider it as nothing short of sacrilege. But, and Papa answers, Swamiji, it is all right, his feet are holy, he is Ramdas's guru, he is Ram, so no harm anyway. So even that is tiny little incident, no? Papa is constantly making us aware. If you become aware of him, nothing can disturb you. Constant remembrance is the message. We are unable to keep it up. The moment the program is over, the otherness comes, you know. So he has to show us some way by which we develop this in the given circumstances. In his case, he was away from his family, he was away from professional commitments, he was away from social commitments. He was able to get stabilized in the truth. God removed all those things and he made him to succeed. In our case, everything is there, no? So Ram has got additional strain to put us because we have not offered anything to him. We are keeping everything to ourselves. And we expect him to do the other one also. When we say we take care of ourselves, that means, you know, Ram has no play there. Whereas in Papa's case, he relieved him so that he can exclusively concentrate on Ram. So with all the attachments, bindings, conditionings with us, we are just hearing all these things. That's all. Now we at least give us some 1%, you know, 1% chance. Whether we succeed or not, please.
Papa renounced it, not Ram. Papa renounced everything. Oh, he was not held with anything.
I couldn't understand.
Papa renounced everything. She's telling Papa renounced everything.
Papa did not renounce everything. God made him to renounce everything. By himself he would not have been. He always used to say. Ramdas, through a ceaseless repetition of the divine mantram, side by side with the concentrated meditation on the all-pervading, eternal, ever-blissful, indwelling God, had attained freedom and peace even before his advent into the world as a mendicant. So side by side with the concentrated meditation, God provided all those things to free himself from all these bondages, and then finally pushed him on the 27th December. And at every step he made him to discard, to divest himself of any possession, anything that gives him some transient relief, transient security. He was able to. Inner prompting, so strong. Even the 9 rupees, at least 1 or 2 rupees we will keep, Emergency, we will say emergency. We have got emergency light, emergency. There completely. When the padikirtha, 9 rupees, he handed over the whole thing. Bas. So Madurai also is okay. Then tomorrow we will move to Chidambaram. Anything else if we get, we can share it tomorrow. Every day he is giving us more and more clarity. So today's clarity is that merely hearing Papa's words will not enable us to understand. We can understand it only through our own perfected experience. That means whatever we have been provided with, we have been facilitated to know, unless it is tested and proved in our own life, it will not become ours. Very, very, very powerful message. So when we take up any reading, any hearing, if we do it casually, at the time of hearing, nice, very nice. Then afterwards, what happened? It doesn't go deep. And does it get reflected in our thoughts, words and deeds? Meaning, are we becoming zero, in this process? Or are we trying to become something? So let these thoughts, go deeper into our layer, so that we will be able to enjoy more and more of Papa's company, rather than now enjoying his explanations, his narrations. We will be able to really travel with Papa if we try to understand it through our own perfected experience, in whatever form he gives us. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.